Rating recap for December 17th, 2025. We're also going to be recapping the NBA Cup. I figured to just box this into the same video as there were only two games last night and then the NBA Cup on Wednesday. NBA Cup doesn't actually even count towards like regular season samples because it's not an official game. It's kind of like it's not even a playoff game. It doesn't even show up on Basketball Reference. You have to like dig through game logs of of the team in order to find it. So just going over that game. I don't. So we're not really the stats from it aren't going to really affect us this year, but some like really interesting takeaways. Most of it for the Knicks, who beat the Spurs 124 to 113 to become the NBA Cup champion. Um, the Knicks are not going to hang a banner. The first team to not hang a banner for this, which like is its own separate non 2K thing. Okay. Um, but Jalen Brunson, he had 25 points, 8 assists. They played pretty good defense on him. He only shot 11 of 27 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, 2 of 4 from the free throw line. A little uncharacteristic for him, but they kept him off the line, so it wasn't his most efficient game. OG stepped up, given all the attention that Brunson got. He had 28 points, a lot of basket cuts, etc. Mitchell Robinson, though, the Knicks bench they were really the heroes of the game for the Knicks, which is a contrast from the Tom Thibodeau era, where these players never would have gotten into the game. He would have played the starters 42 minutes in a game with high stakes, right? So Mitchell Robinson, he played really well against Victor Wembanyama. If anything, the Spurs might have, they probably should have started Wemby in this game, even though they had success bringing him off the bench against OKC as a way to like get him away from Mitchell Robinson to have him because Karl Anthony Towns, he's not really going to be able to guard Wemby great. So I felt it actually kind of played into the Knicks like default strategy of bringing Robinson off the bench because he has the length to like match up with Wemby a little bit, and he's a phenomenal rebounder. And that's something that Wemby's he's probably never going to be an elite Steven Adams tier of rebounder. That's basically what Mitchell Robinson is. He's Steven Adams East. He had 4 points, 15 rebounds in this game, 10 of them on the offensive end. 18 minutes. They drew so many offensive rebounds during the overtime, well, not the overtime, during the fourth quarter of this game, and that really kept the Spurs from getting out in transition where they were otherwise killing the Knicks. Their half-court offense was kind of meh. So Knicks really controlled things down the stretch thanks to Robinson. And then also Tyler Kolek had the best game of his NBA career. 14 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, played 21 minutes. He was even closing in this game. So that's huge game for him. This is not going to show up in official stat or anything, but this is probably going to affect things moving forward. Miles McBride has been out for the last week or so with an injury, and Kolek has really stepped up in the opportunity. Unlike McBride, he's more of like an actual point guard. McBride more of like a 2. We'll see what that means for the rest of the roster moving forward because they are pretty loaded up with 2s. Jordan Clarkson, for what it's worth, also had 15 points off the bench in this game. He was valuable. Landry Shamet right now is sidelined due to injury, which has kind of opened up a rotation spot for Kolek. But yeah, the Knicks, they are your NBA Cup champions. Cat also doubled in this game, but let's with 16 and 11. And then Hart and Mikal Bridges had 11 points each. Let's go on over to the Spurs. Wemby came off the bench again, but he was not as good as he was in the game against the Thunder. 18 points, only 6 rebounds. Again, it got completely destroyed by Mitchell Robinson on the boards. 2 blocks to keep his block streak going. 7 of 17 from the field. He wasn't super efficient. Took a lot of jumpers. Was a game worst minus 18 in the game. So a big contrast from the Thunder game where he was plus 20 whatever in his 20 some odd minutes. Dylan Harper led the team in scoring off the bench, 21 points in 28 minutes. He was 5 of 7 from 3, so solid performance from the rookie. He's going a little bit under the radar because he missed the first month of the season due to injury. Stephon Castle and De'Aaron Fox, they both had pretty solid playmaking numbers in this one. 12 assists for Castle, 9 for Fox, but only 15 points for Castle, 16 for Fox, so they weren't super efficient. Knicks, again, focused in on them. A lot of good defense being played in this game. It was really decided on the boards. Whatever team grabbed the most offensive rebounds was favored, and the Spurs grabbed a lot of offensive rebounds themselves. A lot of that was Luke Cornett, 14 points, 6 rebounds. 5 of them were offensive, which also means that only one of them was defensive. So, yeah, the Spurs just had a lot of trouble keeping the Knicks off the offensive glass in this one, and they were able to. The Knicks are the number 2 offensive team in the NBA, in part because they are a top 2 offensive rebounding team. So that was something. This is a really awesome game, kind of a playoff atmosphere, like your little your early season NBA Finals kind of thing. I don't know. I liked it, even though the game doesn't really count towards what we're doing. But let's go on over to last night's games. The Bulls, they beat the Cavs 127 to 111, moving to 11-15 on the season. Josh Giddey triple doubled, 23 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists. It's always triple doubling, but now he's the first player in franchise history with the triple double and also hit 5 threes. So I did not review Giddey's rating prior to this one, but maybe he'll go up to an 87 next time we review. He has been playing pretty well throughout the year. Kobe White added 25. Nikola Vucevic added 20. Trey Jones, 11 points, 11 assists off the bench. He's been awesome in a backup role this year. Cleveland, though, the main story is really with them. They've just been struggling. They have dealt with a lot of injuries this year. Right now, Evan Mobley's out for 2 to 4 weeks. So they don't really have much rebounding in the starting unit as a result. So Donovan Mitchell, he had 32 points to lead the way, of course, but Jalen Tyson, he entered the starting lineup, 21 points, 8 of 10 from the field. He's shooting 47% from 3 this year, but really the key thing is he's a significantly better rebounder than DeAndre Hunter, especially on the offensive glass. They just need rebounding, given that Evan Mobley's out. Obviously, Dean Wade is not the rebounder that Mobley is, so they're definitely hurting there. They just can't really get away with Hunter. Hunter and Wade is just too small of a front court. Even though Hunter's not small, it's just he's not. Even with a 7'2" wingspan, you would want him to be a much better rebounder than he really is. But the shooting aspect is what's also holding Hunter back. So Tyson, I actually have him as a +2 overall to an 81, just because he's been shooting the ball so well, and he's now entered the starting lineup. Hunter, on the other hand, I have him as a -3 overall from where I previously had him at. He's only shooting 30.5% from 3 this year, which is down from 40.5% last year, so down 10% in 7 December games, 34% from the field, 22% from 3, only 10 points per game. So he has been struggling mightily of late. 81 I still feel like is a little bit high. I think I'm not going to do this yet because he's still playing starter minutes, and that definitely matters with the overall rating. He is going to be the de facto 6th man on this team while Mobley is out, but we'll see if he holds on to the starting position or if he keeps coming off the bench. I mean, once Mobley comes back, if that does happen, and his I still, it's, ratings are kind of a blend between last year and this year still. Like, if we're going off of this year, I could drop this a little more, and that changes his archetype twice. Wow, that's incredible. But what I could do, just as like a quick band-aid, you'll see I have Tyson at a 99 just to get his intangibles, just to get his overall rating up to ensure that he's playing. We could drop Hunter's overall rating using the intangibles to give him a more appropriate rating if it's deemed that he's just getting a smaller role within the team once Mobley is back. Did I just confirm and keep that? I did. Whoops. I'll fix that later. He's going to be an 81 until otherwise. But yeah, this could make him expendable in a trade. He's one of the few guys that has like a movable contract on the team. He only makes 23 and 25. Basically, the Mikal Bridges contract structure prior to his extension. So there are teams out that, Hunter's not like a world beater or anything, but there are teams that certainly could use him. If I had to choose between DeMar DeRozan or DeAndre Hunter. I'm probably going with Hunter as he's easier to fit onto a team structure. He's traditionally a much better three-point shooter than 31%. He's around like 36, 37 for his career, so that'll probably come around. He's just going through a cold streak right now. Yeah, Max Strus might be back next month as well. So yeah, just keep an eye on the small forward situation in Cleveland. They could end up making a trade just to kind of balance things out. Darius Garland, for what it's worth, 15 points, 6 assists, only 6 of 16 from the field, still not getting to the free throw line, so that's been a pretty big hindrance towards his effectiveness this year. And then finishing off with the Memphis Grizzlies against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Grizzlies beat the Wolves 116 to 110. 13 and 14 they move up to. They're now 9th in the Western Conference, tied with Golden State. What a disaster it's going to be for the Warriors if they miss the playoffs with the way they built their roster. So Grizzlies have been clawing their way back up after a rough start. Jaren Jackson Jr., he had a season high in points in the last one with 31. This time he had his second highest output of the year with 28 points, also added 12 rebounds and 3 blocks, so it looks like he might be coming out of the funk that he was in. Brandon Clark, he made his return after a 9-month absence. Started in this one, had 6 points, 5 fouls, played 17 minutes, but they definitely need they definitely need him with Zach Edey probably sidelined until around like the All-Star break with the stress reaction in his ankle. Jock Landale had 20 points and 10 rebounds off the bench as well. So they got some good contributions out of the front court to combat Minnesota's size. Santi Aldama started at the 3 in this one, had 8 points and 11 rebounds, in part to match up with Minnesota as they have Jaden McDaniels at the 3. No John Morant in this one as he's dealing with an ankle injury. The team is now 5-9 with him, 8-5 without him. Has not been very good this year. Cam Spencer actually missed this game due to personal reasons, so the Grizzlies had no point guards available. They went with a Wells and Cedric Coward backcourt rather than starting Vince Williams, which probably just makes sense because Minnesota, they were without Anthony Edwards and Mike Conley in this one, so they were starting Bones Highland. You can get away without having a traditional point guard in general against a team like that. And so Coward was actually like kind of the default point guard because he was the one who was subbing with Vince Williams. Wells, he had 17, Coward 11, KCP I believe had 12 off the bench. So they got good contributions out of their 2 guards in this one. And the Grizzlies, they, last year they had that read and react system, which kind of doesn't require a point guard per se because they're not really running pick and rolls. I would imagine they went to some of that in this game, given that they had no point guards at all. And these are players like Aldama and Jackson are players that actually played well within that system. So I didn't get a chance to watch that game, but I just can imagine based on some of the assist totals also from that game, like Coward had 3, Wells had 2, that's probably what they were doing. They weren't running like pick and roll or anything like that. Minnesota, on the other hand, they dropped 17-10. They're now 2-1 without Anthony Edwards and Mike Conley. So they have, for the most part, played better than expected. This was their first loss with them. Bones Highland stayed in the starting lineup, 12 points, 3 of 11 shooting for him. Missed opportunity again for Rob Dillingham. 5 points, 3 turnovers, minus 13 in 11 minutes. They got killed in the fourth quarter in the little bit that he played. So just hasn't taken advantage of this opportunity. It's not looking great for his future prospects. Julius Randle led the way with 21. Rudy had 16 and 16 off the bench. DiVincenzo had 19 points and 11 rebounds to really help out as if they needed even more help on the glass, Minnesota. But it really sucks that Dillingham just hasn't looked like an NBA player as of yet, as Minnesota definitely needs a backup point guard. Honestly, Conley's getting up there in age. I mean, they need a starter, as they're basically playing Edwards out of position right now. Anyway, that was today's 2K rating recap. Sorry for the delay. I didn't have a video for 2 days. Just been a little bit busy. We've got a bigger slate of games tonight, And I believe that I left that update required on the screen intentionally. I believe that is the latest roster update, so I'm going to check that out. Also, check out PT Sports 84, as he's going to go through and break down every individual rating. I'll just have my comments here and there on it within rating recaps. If there's something that I find particularly noteworthy to discuss, but I am going to comb through and look for all the badge changes in this update. Thanks for sticking with me this year, and I'll see you guys tonight. Peace.